So today's book is a real change, and honestly, I don't even know how to classify this book. I don't even know how to explain it, but in this book, within like these 150 pages, you will learn everything you need to know about being creative, about the creative mind, about being an artist with not just your actions, with your life. And it's super interesting, it's super philosophical, but at the same time there is so much knowledge to be gained from it. And one of the one of the most just clear points from this book is that there's a difference between activity and action. And Osho is he his philosophy is very much like Buddhist, Taoist, very Eastern, just philosophical and Zen philosophy, but it's so masterfully put and it's so digestible that I really think that you should read this book. But the main sticking point of the book is that there's a difference between action and activity. Activity is think of when you're at work. Action is when you have a due date, when you have to fix this one issue before the end of the day so the customer can get their product. Activity is you changing that spreadsheet, uploading that stuff into the database, doing things that are really just busy work. They're not really affecting the business in any sense. It's just you pretending to be busy in front of your boss. And you can never be creative when you're active, like when you're doing activity, when you're active, when you are just doing stuff, going through emotions, not really feeling it, not really being present. And action is when you're going to be creative. Action when you have a deadline in front of you, when you have to get something done. That's when you're going to put in the most work. That's when you're going to do your best work. That's when you're going to be creative. That's when you're going to be allowing the juices to just flow of creativity all around you. And it's really interesting to see that Osho, the author of this, he doesn't think that creativity is something that you have. Creativity is something that just exists. Creativity is something that flows through you. Like a great analogy that's in the book is that you're a piece of bamboo. Like you're hollow. The bamboo shell on the outside is solid, and that is you when you're creative. The energy is flowing through you. The things are coming from the universe. It's coming from God. It's coming from a greater thing outside of you. And that's why we have works like, the Mona Lisa, or, any great works of fiction, or any great works of any type of art. Like, think of your favorite song. Like, is that really the person singing it? Did that person really create it? Or is there some part of God inside that song? Like, you listen to Frank Sinatra, My Way, like, it's not just the lyrics that hit. It's not just his voice that hits. Like, there's something else deep inside of that. There's some soul. There's some art. There's some craft. There's something that words can't define that make that song so great. And when you can start understanding this, when you can start understanding that you need to be present in the moment, you need to just act. You just need to just be there, and that creativity will flow. Like, you need to stop thinking of what will happen tomorrow. You need to start thinking of what's going to happen today. Like, how can I affect this moment? How can I just exist? How can I go with this? How can I use this energy and this creativity to just put myself on the page? And honestly, like, this book, 150 pages, I pretty much read it in a day and a half. I was like, I couldn't put this thing down. But what I want you to start thinking is, like, when was the last time you were creative? When was the last time that you tried to think outside the box? Because there's so many people, whether it's YouTube, there's so many people that literally just copy and paste each other's videos. There's so many people that copy and paste each other's formats. But when was the last time you stepped out on your own? When was the last time you were yourself? When was the last time that you tried to change the game? And if you can't answer that question, then you're going about it all wrong. Like, it's too easy to, try to fall in with the pack. It's too easy to copy others. It's too easy to do all these things. You will never get the recognition that you want, and you'll never be a true individual going about this way. But when you just exist, when you just allow creativity to flow through you, when you just allow the things to just paint themselves, when you just understand that, like, creativity is something that nobody has, it's just you access it, like, it just happens. And when you're unique, when you're creative, when you're doing something new, people have no choice but to pay attention. You defy all boundaries, you defy all logic, you defy all set structures, and because of that you become great. So what I want you to start thinking about is, like, how can you start applying creativity into your life? What are the things that you're looking to do? Like, if you want to be a fitness influencer, like, you can't go at it from, like, the angle of, oh my God, I'm gonna be the next Arnold. Like, no, there's already an Arnold, and think of how many people are trying to be Arnolds. Like, you got to be the next you. You got to be different in your own way. You got to be the next version of whatever it is in your mind that you want to put. But it all starts with just accessing this creativity. And not only this, but I think like when you think more creatively, your life is just easier. You don't fit to the society's standards, and you just can live in your true self. So this is a good book that I want you to just pick up. Super interesting. Osho has a lot of other books. I don't necessarily agree with everything he says, but man, there's some wisdom in these pages. So go ahead, pick it up. I think it's super interesting, and you have a lot to gain from this book. I will leave a link in the description to this book. If you enjoy this video, if you want to hear more breakdowns, I do videos like this every day. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Thank you so much. Catch you in the next one.